good afternoon and welcome to today's episode of Moments with Coach Linda. Today we're going to be talking about the changes young girls experience during puberty. Yes, the early signs of puberty in girls. So today is for the girl child. So if you're a girl mom, a girl dad, if you know you have a girl child under your care who is up to the age of 8 or even less than that, you should bring your seat closer today because we're going to be going in depth about these changes. You might think, it's just those changes. No, these changes, they come with a lot of challenges, they come with a lot of concerns for the child and for the parents, because almost all the time I get questions from parents asking my girl's breast is coming out on one side is not developing, she's experiencing pains, the period, she's seeing her period this month is not coming again, or she's having discharge. All these things we're going to discuss them. I'm going to be discussing when it is normal for these changes to be expected and when you should go and see a doctor. Hello parents, welcome to today's episode of Moments with Coach Linda, which happens every Wednesday unfailingly at 1 p.m. So let's dive right in. So one of the first signs of puberty in girls is the development of the breast tissues, okay? So for girls who are on the big side, that's girls who are a bit plump, it is expected that sometimes for them puberty starts early. So if your daughter is on the big side, it means that even by age 8 plus or 9, that those signs of puberty may start showing. Yes, so it is normal for your daughter who is 9 or who is 10 to start experiencing the growth of the breast tissue. And that is usually the first sign that puberty has set in. And the funny thing about this breast tissue is that it doesn't start on you. We have two breasts, right? But growth of the breast tissue doesn't start in both at the same time. It usually starts with one side of the breast. You notice something like a boil under the breast, the nipple, usually flat nipple. Notice like a boil under it. And you can be watching like this side is still flat, and then you're noticing that this side is growing, coming out, quick. And then another thing is that it can be painful. Yes, it can be painful. When you touch it, the child might scream. Sometimes it will look as if it's a boil, but it is normal. This is how the breast tissue develops. So for years, maybe by the time the child is 15, 16, that is when the difference in the size of the breast is going to normalize. But it's even to the age of 18, 19, you might notice a physical difference in the size of the breast. But one thing you should know is that before the child becomes a full adult, that the size of the breast is going to normalize. So when you see your daughter growing this breast on one side it is normal. Do not panic. After the panic mode, okay, it is normal. Do not panic. So these breast tissues, no need to start buying them bras at this point. No need for the bras. You can buy them short shorts, buy them singlets, or vest and all that for them to be. Don't buy. Let the breast develop at its own rate. Hello, Coach Ify. I can see you're joining us. Hello. So these are the normal changes these girls experience, and one of the first signs is the development of the breast tissue. And I would like to seize this opportunity to also tell you about a webinar I'll be hosting on Friday by 7 p.m. So it's online, it's a webinar. Your location is not a restriction. If you have a daughter from age 8 to 17, ensure you register them for this webinar, because the title is Sexuality. Yes, so sexuality for the girl child, okay? Sexuality for the girl child. A lot of things will be discussed. A lot of things, in the world where we live today, where we have seen stories of people, I don't want to name names so that Uncle Mark does not flag down our videos. Same-sex relationships, the way it's becoming so normal in our society. We need to get to our young ones, our young boys and girls early in time to get them, to help them, have this positive self-identity, be comfortable in their gender, and ensure that they are well informed so that they are not led astray early. So a lot of things, identity formation, sexual orientation, a lot of these things will be discussed according to the age bracket, because I'll be dividing them into two. The 8-year-olds and the 12-year-olds will be in the same group, and then the 13-year-olds and the 17-year-olds, they'll be grouped in the same place. So ensure you register your child for that webinar. You can chat me up privately, or in the comment section you indicate interest. I made it very affordable, just 2,000 naira. Okay, this is just to ensure everybody participates. The money is not the incentive. Okay, now let's dive right back in. What is the next sign of puberty you should be expecting as far as your child is up to 8 years old? Yes, because we have early bloomers. Your daughter may not be an early bloomer. Maybe she got her period at 12, 13. You don't think that maybe your second daughter is going to experience the same thing the same way. No, it is not the same thing. It is important that you understand that once a child is 8 years, that child puberty can set in. Yes, but if it's sexual identity, it is very, very important. It is very important for a child. Then the next thing we're going to talk about is the pubic hair. Okay, I think just 2 days ago, a parent sent me a message that can she use VIT to shave her 11-year-old daughter? Is it safe for her? You know that most times when these pubic hairs start growing, they're like baby teen hairs. They're like baby, some of them are at that initial stage. You may not even really need shaving immediately. Yes, you may not need shaving immediately. So it is usually when the hair becomes tough, or when it becomes, not immediately they come out, you come and start shaving them immediately. The other thing you need to do as a parent is that if the hair is much and you want to shave, I don't advise at that age that you start using all these products for your children. I don't advise that. Then even if you're going to shave them, you find out the kind of shaving that works for them. If it's dry shaving, if it's wet shaving, whichever one that works according to the skin of your child. Okay? It is important. So pubic hairs are going to start coming out. Some of the early signs of puberty. You can even check your 9-year-old today. Check that you will see that there is hair there. So hairs around the pubic region, the vagina, the penis. We are talking about girls today. So you are going to see hairs around all those places. So at this stage, another thing that happens during puberty is body odor. They develop this kind of odor. Have you ever been to a teenagers? Hey God, you need to teach them personal hygiene. Once a girl is up to 8 years, you have to not just teaching them how to bathe, teaching them how to pay special attention to certain parts of their bodies, their private parts, their armpits, to scrub properly. To scrub properly, buy them deodorants. You teach them to wash and sun dry their undies. If you start teaching them these things early, whenever they get their period, you don't need to come and start going on panic mode, teaching them menstrual hygiene. Just make this vaginal care a part of the everyday experience. A part of it can be a bonding thing for you as a father or a mother with your daughter. So when you teach them this personal hygiene, it is important because with puberty comes disorder, whether we like it or not. Another one is the change in the skin type. You know that your skin changes during puberty. That is why during puberty, you see the pimples, they start coming out. Your skin becomes more oily during puberty. So as a parent, it is important that you inform your daughters, because a lot of them are being told a lot of myths in school. The reason why you're having pimples is because you're not doing this, because you're not having sex, because you're not applying this. There is nothing these girls are not doing. You see, we go to secondary schools, we hear the kind of gist they give each other, kind of myths and stories they circulate amongst themselves. So it is important that as a parent, you have a daughter who is 8 years old, you should start this conversation with them. Their skin tone is going to change. It's going to become more oily. They're going to be prone to pimples, which is natural. So you need to talk to your daughters about that. Okay? It is important to teach them how to care for the skin, wash their face properly, the things to apply, even if it's just white powder to keep the oil away. So parents, it is important to have these conversations with your child. The other thing that happens during puberty for the girls, especially that early stage, is discharge. Notice discharge in maybe when they remove their panties, you notice that there is like a discharge on the pants. This is like the onset of the menarche, the beginning of menstruation. So whenever this thing starts, there's a possibility that menstruation is going to set in soon. So this discharge, it is all part of puberty. It is all part of it. So it is natural. A lot of times, parents send me a message. I have this WhatsApp community of parents where they have easy access to me, direct access to me. These are parents whose children attend my webinars. These are parents who attend my webinars, who attend my program. So if you want to belong to the community, you let me know in the comment section. So one of them asked if something was wrong with her daughter because she was seeing this discharge. So it is normal. It is normal. It's when it has an offensive odor. Maybe you check if the child has an infection. And one thing I want to let you know is that if you notice that your daughter is always having some kind of any form of infection, not just a UTI, let's say an STI, you notice that your child has an infection. Because most times we dismiss every infection children contract as a UTI, that's urinary tract infection, or that they got it from the public toilet. Are you aware that when a child keeps having reoccurring STI, a reoccurring infection, it might be a sign of abuse? Yes, it might be a sign of sexual abuse for that child. So you need to check it out. When it keeps you occurring, you treat, it comes back, you really need to check it out to find out who is infecting the child. It is important. Then, another thing is the menstruation, the odogu of the signs. Now, someone said her 9-year-old just started menstruating and she's frustrated. She's like, this girl, she runs around the house naked. She doesn't even know the next thing about herself. Like, she literally still calls pampas. So how is she going to start teaching this girl about menstrual hygiene? Why is it starting now? But just like I explained earlier, there are early bloomers. And then it can be as a result of family heritage. I know last week I talked about this puberty changes and the early bloomers and what might be the cause and all that. I talked about it in full, so find that video. You will get a lot of information on that. But what I'm trying to say is that we are all different. Our body systems are different. So a lot of things can cause or trigger puberty to start earlier than it should. For some, it is genetics. Like I talked about earlier, the size of the child in question. Yes, the weight also contributes. The diet of the child. What is your child eating? Are you feeding your children excessively processed foods? Feed them more of natural things. These things contain hormones, estrogens, things that will boost, push the puberty to start earlier than it should. And then hormonal imbalance, you can check out. Go to take your child to the clinic, to the hospital to meet a gynecologist, and you can check out if the child has hormonal imbalance. Another thing that can cause this is when there is a tumor in the brain, and also cause this puberty to start early. But all in all, in this time, there has been a reduction in the age that puberty starts. Unlike in our own time, it was usually 13, even some 14, 12. But these days, children as young as 9, that's like 9, 10 has become like a normal. They are now experiencing puberty. So you should expect it earlier than you had it as a parent. Then if in your family history that you usually get your, start puberty sets in early for people in your family, expect the same thing for your children. If it's in your husband lineage, it can be hereditary. So another change that young girls experience in puberty that is not always talked about because it is not physical, is emotional changes, mood swing. It is all part of puberty. Look at that your 13-year-old, her body is always preparing her. Like she's never ever in the mood to talk. Any small thing she's backing out, they are the younger ones. Sometimes it happens before the period, premenstrual signs. The mood and as the hormones are fluctuating, that during puberty there is an imbalanced hormone. A lot of things in the body is not regulated. They are all over the place. The emotions are all over the place. So it's important to understand that your child is also going through emotional changes, going through emotional imbalance. So you try to teach them to regulate their emotions. So I won't be teaching you what to teach them. I'll be talking to the girls myself. So ensure you register your girls for that webinar that will be happening on Friday. Okay? So that all these things we're going to be talking in full about identity, forming their orientations and identity, their sexuality, all those things, sex education and body safety. It is all coming in. So it's important that you register your daughters. Okay? So based off the questions I was asked in the community, that is why I decided to choose this topic. Let's talk about it, okay? These are the expected changes. So when you experience the emotional changes, the mood swing, and a very important conversation, because we have to teach them how to regulate these emotions. There is a difference between I am an adult now, when I'm in my ovulation or before my period. I will even tell my husband that maybe he does something, I'll get irritated and I'll be like, no wonder, my period is high. It's my hormones overacting. So when I see myself and I'm trying to do certain things, I'll be like, am I not overreacting like this? Maybe it's the hormones trying to, I'll put myself in check. And then there are things I can just get up, take a walk, exercise, drink water, find something to, occupy my time or find something to change my mood. These are some of the things we'll be teaching the girls, okay? So it is important that as a parent, that you are aware of what your child is going through. Because if you're not, it will also affect your relationship with your child. Because when they're having that mood swing, you're like, why is this girl giving me attitude? Why is this girl? Oh yeah, where? What's goes in the house? When your daughter sees you, she wants this, or you see your daughter, a lot of conflict. That is why sometimes you think these things are not that important. You think, nobody talks to me about this thing, so what's the point? Hello? A lot of you also do not have a wonderful relationship with our parents because during this stage of puberty, you don't understand them and bond with them. and learn how to manage them while they also manage the crisis and the war going inside and going on within them. You can view the relationship you're going to have with your children for life. But when you understand these changes they are going through, you hold their hand on this journey of puberty. It fosters the bond. This is not just for the mothers, not the fathers. A girl child who has a present father, who has a father who is involved in her growth, who has a father who affirms her, is a self-confident girl. You know, that girl walks around with her shoulder. She is not easily deceived outside. So help your daughters, especially these young ones, those ones that are experiencing puberty at a very young age. Imagine 10-year-olds, 9-year-olds who can barely properly bathe themselves, experiencing puberty. Do not leave them. Don't, a 14-year-old or a 13-year-old, someone who has late puberty can even know how to manage themselves even without much help from you. But you see those young ones, you see those little girls who are experiencing these changes, please do not leave them. Because once they're able to regulate their emotions, once they're always feeling sad, you know, the downtime, they think they need a boyfriend. They think they need someone to show them love. The boys are telling them that they are beautiful, that they are this, that's how they tell you. The crushing feeling they are having, which is also a part of the puberty, they will not say it's love, because you're not showing them love in the house. So parents, this is where I'm going to draw the curtains on today's episode of Moments with Coach Linda. And show that, I think I will share the flyer in the comment section, share it on your WhatsApp status, share it on your Facebook status, okay? The parents out there might need answers to these questions. You do not want a girl child out there to go on the struggle of puberty alone. You do not want a girl child out there to be lost out there, wondering and seeking answers where there are no answers. So I ensure you register your girls for this live session, this live webinar that will be happening on Friday by 7 p.m. Okay, that's West African time. We're having us all by 7 p.m. So anywhere you are, make sure you join. Thank you very much, Coach Ify, for joining us today. And do have a lovely day. And join me again next week, Wednesday, at